game. Blouses.
Gallon chuck.
Disaster.
Spaghetti.
Disaster.
Well, I mean, I'm no doctor.
We now join America's most popular show, already in progress. Everybody loves
Mitch and Sean. You guys are the greatest duo.
Fantastic.
That team sure did suck last night. They just plain sucked. I've seen teams suck before, but they were the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked.
Welcome into the Post Game Pints podcast. Once again, Campbell and Gallo with you. And that's right. You saw it. You saw it correctly. Sometimes you just need a little angry in your life. A little angry Gallo from LaBrosse Brewery. Hey, we're both having LaBrosse angry Gallo. You've been ornery lately. For every time I seem to be working with you here on the podcast, Mitch, the last episode was Angry Gallo. Even visually it looked a little different last podcast, and you're just a little more ornery, and Angry Gallo came out when we're working at TSN 690. You've been angry. Like, are you okay?
I'm fine. I actually feel like I'm reborn, Sean. I know people like when Angry Gallo makes an appearance here or there, and the reaction has been good. So I'm fine. Don't worry about me. All right, worry about yourself, damn it. Sorry. Okay. Almost had like a little case of Tourette's there. But no, I hope you enjoy your Angry Gallo Ale. It's going to give you a little pop to your step. Obviously, I always have a little extra pop in my step as well. Angry Gallo. And, of course, you got the play-by-play IPA, Campbell's version of the beer, too. So check them out at LaBrosse as soon as you can.
Yeah, 133 LaBrosse in Point Claire, labrosse.com. Check it out. I know that there's some specials coming up for the Campbell play-by-play IPA and the Angry Gallo Ale. So make sure you stay tuned for that and request for it, demand it. I mean, go in there and be like, I want Campbell play-by-play IPA. And then they'll be like, okay, it's cool. Here it is. And you don't have to yell. If you want to be like Angry Gallo, they'll probably just ship some Angry Gallo.
I think you should yell.
Why not? They're cool people, though. Yeah. You know, Catherine, Alex, Troy, Dan in the back. I mean, every time I go by, it's just a great day. All right.
So it's like, you know, that episode of The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Where Homer's chanting, "Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito?
My burrito.
Where's my burrito?
Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito?"
I think you should go to LaBrosse and say, "Where's my ale? Where's my ale? Where's my ale?"
Not bad. I like it. All right. Trade deadline in the National Hockey League is come and gone, Mitch. It came.
See ya.
And it's gone. So we have all these trades to deal with.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I thought today's episode of the Post Game Pints podcast, we can do a power rankings of the best trades. Not which team made the best. I mean, the trades that just had more jump, more oomph. The power trades. I don't even care who won or lost. That's the way I looked at. I don't know how you looked at these trades and did your power rankings. I have a list of my power rankings. You have a list of your power rankings. I don't really care about who won or lost the trade. To me, it was like a trade that was like, oh, like it turned my head. It had oomph, good power rankings. It's the one that made me.
I take everything into consideration, Campbell. I take the size of the trade, the impact that it's going to have on the franchise acquiring the player, especially if it's a rental type guy. I try to take everything into account with my power ranking. Top 5 trades at the NHL trade deadline.
I'm just so curious how different your power rankings are going to be from my power rankings. And I know that Dave's going to compare them side by side.
All right. Who's starting here? Let's go.
I'll start things. Things on the power rankings. And with my 5th on number 5, because we're going to go 5-1, right?
That's right. You got to save the best for last.
So number 5 for me on my power rankings, I'm going to bring the Jeff Carter to the Pittsburgh Penguins for a conditional third and a conditional fourth. I don't care about the conditions or anything. The fact that Jeff Carter has been like out of LA for 3 to 4 years. And then he landed in Pittsburgh. And when that trade happened, it was like, Pittsburgh getting Jeff Carter? Like, it was really out of nowhere. And usually you hear rumblings or this player's on the market. Jeff Carter's been on the market for a very long time. Another one from the 2003 draft, a 36-year-old. He's got a year left on his contract. It wasn't a pending UFA, but Pittsburgh made that move to create a little bit of experience in the lineup, which they didn't have. Maybe some insurance if Malkin doesn't go in. When I heard Jeff Carter Penguins, I was like, it made me shift in my seat. Good enough for number 5 on my power rankings.
Yeah, it may have gone under the radar since it kind of came across on Sunday night and was overshadowed by another significant move and a player moving teams. I did not have this one in my power rankings. I'm not sure the type of impact that Jeff Carter can have at this time in his career on the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think we knew that Pittsburgh was looking at help down the middle of the ice. Brian Burke had alluded to that several times. You mentioned it. Can't help but wonder about the Malkin injury too, and how much he's affected or going to be hampered by that injury. I like that you went with that one at number 5, but it's just not my pick.
That's fine. 5, that's why we have different picks. That's why there's different columns going down, right, Dave? Different columns, right, Dave?
Number 5, Campbell. I am going to go with one of the guys who was right at the top of the Frank Saravelli trade bait board. Everybody was wondering where David Savard was going to go. David Savard at number 5 for me to the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think if you look at what the Lightning were able to do in capturing the Stanley Cup last year, they went through a lot of players on their back end. They were using Zach Bogosian. They were using Luke Schenn. Witkowski was another guy that came in and out of that lineup. They needed to add something. They don't have Bogosian anymore. I don't think Luke Schenn is that capable anymore. They need a little oomph, a little pop on their back end. I also really like, Sean, how they use Detroit. Obviously, Yzerman and Julian Breezeball have that connection. They use Detroit as a stopgap to find a way to circumvent the salary cap. I like the creativity. So I'm going to go number 5, David Savard to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
All right, I'm gonna let you know that we'll come back so we can talk about it again, because that is on my list, and everything you said about the circumventing and dealing with the cap has a big reason why it's up there. So I'm gonna kind of just say, yeah, I'm with you. Mine's a little higher than it is at number 5, and it's not at number 4. So at number 4. My deal, I wrote them all down. I just make sure. I like this deal. I think it's a deal that everybody liked. And at number 4, it is the Toronto Maple Leafs acquiring Nick Foligno from Columbus. I know, and maybe it's just I get excited with first round picks. You and I are both draft guys. We both love covering the draft. Okay, we love talking the draft. We love doing redrafts here on the Post Game Pints podcast. It's something that we do very well, and I can throw a draft pop quiz at you, and you're like, pop, 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 pop. Right? That's how it works, Mitch. So when a first round pick gets involved, it gets a little exciting. And I know that first round picks were hard to come by, and it's going to be a 29, 30. It doesn't really matter. First round pick has it, but Nick Foligno going to Toronto, it's one of those things I'm like, makes sense. Nick Foligno going to any team to me makes sense. But the fact that it was the Toronto Maple Leafs that went out there and got him and pulled him in, I think it shows that Toronto's like, look, we like what we have. We want more. We want more. Like they have a good roster. They could have made no moves and went on to win the Stanley Cup. But they made multiple moves. But to me, the Nick Foligno was a bold move by Kyle Dubas, really swinging and saying, hey, if I trade my first round pick, I'm going for the Stanley Cup. That's pretty much what trading a first round pick is. And maybe it equates to with David Savard and how that worked. But I like the Nick Foligno deal. I like the power. I like the mix. I like the two teams. Number 4 on my list.
All right. We are going to revisit Nick Foligno on my list a little bit later on. My number 4 trade deadline power ranking move, Sean, is Taylor Hall to the Boston Bruins. I have that one at number 4. The reason it's not a little bit higher up on the list is because I don't know if Boston is even going to make the playoffs. At the recording of this podcast, the New York Rangers are only 4 points back. We don't know the health status of Tuukka Rask. We don't know the health status of Yaroslav Halak. They've played many different goaltenders. Excuse me. And sorry about that. And I don't know if Boston's even going to be in the playoffs at this time. I think it's a risky move. They didn't have to give up a ton. It makes the power rankings list because, let's be honest, Taylor Hall is the biggest name that was out there. He was the big fish. He is the guy who had won an MVP trophy. Yeah. He's the guy who has, if he plays to his full potential, the biggest ability to make an impact on a team. And I think if you look at Boston's makeup, obviously their line is set in stone. Bergeron, Pasternak, and Marchand, those three guys are going to play together. But who does David Krejci get to play with? I know he's had some chemistry with Richie. With DeBrusque, it hasn't really worked out. I think Hall on a second line with Krejci, you're going to have to start worrying about them maybe a little bit. Maybe that takes away some of the attention off the top line. I'm not sure. But I think number 4, Boston adding Taylor Hall, you can't ignore the name power that he brings.
Mitch, I ignored it. Didn't make
you
my
ignored
list.
it.
Didn't make my list.
Yeah.
I ignored it. I'm sorry. Taylor Hall. Yeah, like you meant. I went and I Googled when I heard you mention the Taylor Hall cartoon of him being the Grim Reaper and going to like team by team, and I was just like, nah, they're dead. I'm like Taylor Hall just doesn't interest me, and I don't care about Hart trophies at this case. He just doesn't. And you know what? He might just go out and be the perfect piece for the Bruins because they need that little extra spark. And maybe he's going to be extra motivated. Maybe there's instant chemistry. Who knows? Didn't make my list. I was like, whoever gets Taylor Hall probably overpaid and didn't care. Like, that's how I felt about it. You know who I think Curtis Lazar is meant to be a Bruin. That's what I'll say. Curtis Lazar might score more goals than Taylor Hall.
I'm willing to bet you that doesn't happen. But what do you got at number 3?
We should make more bets though.
Yeah.
All right, how's this? Let's do it. Let's figure out something. If Curtis Lazar scores more goals than Taylor Hall, what happens?
What if Taylor Hall scores more goals than Curtis Lazar? Let's start with that aspect of it.
Sure. What's the punishment?
I don't know. You come up with something.
You're already supposed to deliver beer to me.
I feel like if Curtis Lazar outscores Taylor Hall, I have to do something with a dirty hamburger.
With a dirty hamburger. Oh, I like this.
Yeah.
I like this. Okay. Yeah, we have to eat. Okay, floor hamburgers. You have to have a hamburger. You have to have a hamburger, throw it on the floor, and then eat it.
All right. As soon as I get my vaccination.
No. It has to be like a McDonald's hamburger, right?
Yeah, it definitely has to be a McDonald's hamburger.
Out of the wrapper on the floor.
Yes.
Floor hamburger.
Once I have my vaccination.
Are we doing like street, like on the sidewalk?
I'm thinking more park.
Like
grass.
Park, like grass and sand? Okay.
Yeah.
You don't need your vaccination. Just Dave will go video you. You get someone to video you taking the hamburger, throwing it on the ground and eating it because you have to, because Curtis Lazar scored more goals than Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall scored more goals. Now we're talking total goals, including playoffs.
Yes.
Okay, done. Dirty hamburger deal. I'm in.
And what if Taylor Hall outscores Lazar?
Then I will eat a dirty hamburger in the park.
I have a feeling you've eaten dirty hamburgers already.
Hey, deal with it. That's the deal. Dirty hamburger bet has been made.
I think you almost want to lose this bet so you could eat a dirty hamburger. That's what I
just want to eat a hamburger. If it's dirty, well, I'll just deal with it. Again, and it's not
as did he.
Has to be thrown on the ground, like with a little bit of force. Not enough force to destroy the hamburger.
No, it has to be attacked.
But it has to be thrown hard enough that it's going to be dirty.
Yeah.
Okay. I like this. Don't forget the Post Game Finds podcast. Not that this has any relation to Dirty Hamburger, brought to you by Wolfpacks, wolfpacks.ca. Vader, I know, loves his subscription and getting all the toys and treats at wolfpacks.ca. That's WOOFPACKS.ca. Mitch, what are the words?
Woof, woof. Woof, woof.
Exactly. All right. So number 3 for me, we're revisiting David Savard. 1, perfect fit. 2, you mentioned all those defensemen that they had. Bogosian, Luke Shen. David Savard is 10 times better than those guys. Now you're adding him as a depth defenseman. And the fact that you heard all about this, they got David Savard. You're like, how did Tampa Bay get David Savard? Then is 50% here, 50% here. They're paying 25% of his salary. I loved every aspect of that. You call it circumvention. I call it genius. Way to go, Julien Brisebois. David Savard's number 3 on my list.
Well, I think it could be both genius and circumvention. I agree with you. Very, very smart move. And for number 3, you're revisiting David Savard. For number 3, I'm revisiting Nick Foligno. Nick Foligno comes in at number 3, the acquisition by the Maple Leafs. I agree with what a lot of what you said before about that fit. And Sean, here's what I like about Foligno with the Toronto Maple Leafs is the fact that I think he is a guy who can do different things and fit in different parts of your lineup. Like if they need Nick Foligno to play with Nylander and Tavares, he can do that. But if you need him to play on the third line with Kerfoot and Hyman, he can do that too. I think he's a versatile player and the type of guy you want in the playoffs. You also add somebody who's been around, who's played in playoff series, probably buddies with Jason Spezza, and is a guy from Ontario, so I'm sure he'll be pretty proud to put on that Maple Leaf sweater. You got the dad angle there too, with his father who played for the Maple Leafs. So I think it makes a lot of sense for Toronto. He comes in at number 3 on my power rankings.
Does he when he scores his first goal? Does he do a weird jump? Does he?
I sure hope not. I also hope he doesn't wear that weird helmet that his father used to wear. It's like a cranium.
Yeah,
we both do the same thing.
All right, number 2 for me on our NHL trade deadline acquisitions. Number 2 for me. Hey, look, I love when I hear about a trade and it was like he was available. When you hear a trade like that, that perks interest. And one is another first round pick involved. And I love that it's 4 pieces for one. I think it's a really good player going one way and a really good player going the other way, plus a little bit extra. But the deal between Detroit and Washington, Anthony Mantha for Jacob Vrana and Richard Panik and a first and second. It was first and second, right? It was a 1-2.
Yeah, it was.
And I wrote everything down. Sorry, it is a second because there was first and fourth sometimes, and I cared nothing about third and fourth. I'll just tell you know that when I deal with you trade a pick in the 4th round, I'm like, it doesn't matter. You know how the draft works. I know how you can get the same guy in the 4th or the 5th round. You really can. First and second round picks are the key ones for you to keep. But Anthony Mantha, that deal went down. I was like, he was available. Like that's what it was, and to me that brings power. That's you're getting a first round pick. I love that deal. I love the boldness. I like it for Detroit too, getting a first round. I love Jacob Vrana. You're getting a young guy that I think will be able to shine and take a level. Like I look at Jacob Vrana, I could already picture him in a Red Wings uniform. I know people thought that Mantha was lady, but he's a guy that I like these little moves that the Capitals have made. They've got, they're kind of like that, the Crosby. They're the older guys, Backstrom, Ovechkin. They're there. They're there not just to play hockey. They're there to win. They want to win. Anthony Mantha and giving up Vrana for Mantha and a first and all those picks, that's fine. I like it. Power move. Second on my power rankings.
All right, guess what, Sean? Number 2 on my power rankings. Anthony Mantha gets traded to the Washington Capitals.
Our 1 and 2 must be the same then.
We'll see. Let's wait till we get to number 1. I'll just elaborate on number 2, the Mantha move. I agree with you on both sides. I'll look at Detroit's angle first, a rebuilding team. They get a first-round pick, which is obviously very nice for them. Vrana, goal scoring is hard to find, and he has shown the ability. The season's over 20 goals. Very nice number. You look, Vrana, he's going to be a goal scorer. Zadina, who is in the Kotkaniemi draft, he's slated to be a goal scorer. You have some nice speed at center ice and Dylan Larkin. I think you're building some pieces along the way here. So I like Detroit. They've also healthy scratched him. It felt like he needed a change of scenery. And for Washington, Sean, why I like this move for the Capitals, I look at their wings now. Okay, because we know in the middle of the ice, and I'm looking at the top 6. They're good with Backstrom and Kuznetsov. But now for a playoff series, Your wingers are Mantha and Oshie, who are going to play with Backstrom, and Ovechkin and Wilson, who are going to play with Kuznetsov. Size, skill, talent, the ability to get to the hard areas of the ice, and goal scoring capability.
Easy to cheer
such
for.
A smart
Easy,
move.
yeah. And there's a risk, but you're at this stage of your organizational. You're like, Ovechkin's this age. We go for it. We go for it every year. That's why the Penguins are like, no, we don't rebuild. We have Crosby and Malkin. We go for it every year. It's not like, oh, is this year or this? No, you go for it. You don't know if it's going to happen, but I definitely like that. All right, my number one. And I just want to know, just smile a little if it's number one, because to me, it was the most perfect trade that happened. It happened a couple days before the NHL trade deadline. The absolute perfect trade, because I already thought the Islanders were too good to mess with. Yeah, you're smiling. How is this not? Kyle Palmieri and Travis Zajac, for two guys I've never heard of, and what was it, a first and a fourth? It wasn't first and second. That's where I got confused. First and a fourth. I mean, Kyle Palmieri and the Islanders makes sense. Travis Zajac down the middle. Yeah, those guys, they know how to play for Lou. They know, and I know Lou's not the coach, but it doesn't matter. It's the system. It's the mentality. I honestly, I'm ready to pick the Islanders to win the Stanley Cup. And I just mentioned I really like the Capitals too, and they have to go through each other. But man, adding those two pieces, to me, the best trade. Everybody wanted those players. Everybody wanted Palmieri, and then you heard Zajac was going with them too. It's not even close. Number one on the power rankings.
Well, here's the thing. Number one on the power rankings for me too. Palmieri and Zajac going from New Jersey to the New York Islanders. And the best part about this is a few weeks ago, Anders Lee gets injured. You knew the Islanders had cap space, and you knew Lou was going to be reactive. So everybody's saying, what is Lou Lamoriello going to do? And I've brought this up. I said that Lamoriello will probably look to New Jersey. Mm-hmm. He knows their players. And he is going to try to get either Palmieri or Zajac.
And then he got
both. But I said either. And then he got both in the same trade.
So good.
That was not something that I saw coming. It was, I wouldn't say a shock when I saw it, because I know Lamoriello and what he's capable of. And apparently, Sean, he was really calling people and making Buffalo believe that he was interested in Taylor Hall, and making Columbus think that maybe he wanted Foligno, but he was just trying to align the different pieces and different discussions to make sure he got the guys he knew that he wanted. I think they're going to be they're going to fit in seamlessly in that system with Barry Trotz and the Islanders. I think they're probably both excited to go there as well. They don't have to do a lot of traveling, obviously, since they're already in New Jersey. Just like everything made sense. And also becomes an arms race. And I think a lot of people changed how they felt about the New York Islanders when they saw Lamoriello get aggressive and make that trade.
Yeah, I think that deal made the Bruins react. 100% made the Bruins react. And they probably paid a little bit more than they wanted for players that they wanted but didn't want. It's interesting how similar but a little bit different our power rankings are. That's our NHL trade deadline power rankings. I will just go through my five very quickly. Number 5, Jeff Carter to Pittsburgh for conditional picks. Number 4, Nick Foligno to Toronto for a first and a fourth. Number 3, David Savard to Tampa Bay at 25% for a first and a fourth. Number 2, Mantha for Vrana Panic and first and a second. And then Zajac and Palmieri to the Islanders from the Devils for 2 NHL players and a first and a fourth. Sorry, Greer and Jobs. I could say their names. I'm sorry. I don't want to be insulting, but if I didn't hear about them before, I knew AJ Greer, the Jobs guy. I don't know much about.
I hope one of them becomes a star. My top 5 power rankings trades: David Savard to the Lightning 5, Taylor Hall to Boston 4, Nick Foligno to Toronto 3, Anthony Mantha to Washington 2, and the Islanders getting Palmieri and Zajac at number 1.
And we did make a dirty hamburger bet. If Curtis Lazar scores more goals than Taylor Hall in a Bruins uniform from now and playoffs, then Gallo has to eat a hamburger from McDonald's that's been thrown into the grass at a park. And then if Taylor Hall scores more goals than Curtis Lazar, I have to eat a hamburger that's been thrown in the grass at a park. See, we could do this with the COVID. We could do this on our own. Just take a video. My kids could take a video of me doing that.
My issue, Sean, is I'm not afraid of being in contact with you guys or Dave to film it. I'm afraid of the hamburger falling into some spit or something, and I'm
find a good
COVID.
Do it in your backyard. I don't care.
Okay, I could do it in my backyard.
I'll do it at a park because I'm a man.
All right, you ready?
Right.
Ready for a pop quiz?
Brought to you by Cunningham's Pubs, the best wings, not in the country, not in North America, in the world, the best wings in the world. All right, so what's going on with this pop quiz? I struggled last time, and you're just going to fire another one at me, and I have to do better this time?
Yeah, but I'm going to let you get a little help if you like.
Oh, can I phone a friend?
Phone a friend, Campbell. Phone a friend.
Hey, Dave, you there? Dave? Dave, are you there? Hello? Hello? Dave! Dave trying to do it, everybody.
Hello.
Okay, good. He's not iOS. He's not iOS webcam today.
Or upside down. I definitely screenshot that 4 seconds he was upside down in our WrestleMania podcast. I can't believe Edge lost.
I knew it. I told you guys.
Campbell, I have it recorded, damn it.
Edge lost.
Yeah, well, I know that now. And I had everybody muted and had avoided it. I did some watching today. Not that far ahead.
I didn't tell you who won, though. I didn't tell you who won.
Yeah, I have a pretty good idea who won because I told you guys that Bryant had no chance. All right, let's get to my pop quiz question, guys. Since we're talking about the playoffs, teams are gearing up for the playoffs now. I would like to know the top 9 most appearances in the postseason in NHL history.
Top 9 players or teams?
Wow.
Players.
Top 9 players appearances
All time.
in the all time.
Current or
No, all time.
just all time? Okay. Yeah, right.
All time.
Top
Top 9. And the reason I did 9 is because there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are tied. And it goes, so you got your top 2 and then 7 tied with the same, and then it goes on to another tier.
Okay, so I'm just gonna first just rattle off. How many do I have time for wrong answers, or because I want to rattle off guys that have been around a long time.
You can do whatever you like.
So and we're going back to original 6 too.
Well, yes, we are. But I'm gonna say that all of them except one played during your watching hockey time.
Oh, there's one that's before that?
Only one is from the original 6 era.
So is it most games played?
Can we get the
most
numbers?
Appearances in the playoff stage?
Can we get the numbers or no?
Number 1 is at 24 appearances in the playoffs. Number 2 is at 21, and then there's a 7-way tie at 20.
Okay, so they're guys that have played 20 years. So then it's got to be Gordie Howe.
Gordie Howe is the only one that you didn't watch play. He is at 20.
Okay, so and he's at 20. So then 24 times. Then I got to go Chris Chelios.
Chris Chelios 24 times in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Okay, so I got number 1. Screw you, Dave.
I got a guess.
Okay.
Nicholas Lidstrom.
Nicholas Lidstrom in the group of 20 appearances.
20. He was 100% on my list, Nicholas Lidstrom. Okay, so we have 3 right answers. For me, I really want to get that 21. The 20s, it's the 21. All right, so I'm going to go with Yager.
Jaromir Jagr is your first incorrect answer.
You know why I was thinking of Yager, and I hear because he played it's about the amount of games that you play too, and for so how long. And if it's 20 years and 20 appearances, there's not many players that have played 20 years in the National Hockey League, so there's only a group of people. And at the end of his career, he was always traded at the deadline to a team. So
he probably would have got there if he didn't bounce for a while.
Yeah, 4 years away. And this is I always say this, he would have over 2,000 points in the National Hockey League if he didn't go. And he got screwed by 3 lockouts.
That's true.
Okay. So
I have
Dave.
I have a guess.
There's no active players on this list.
I didn't say that.
Ooh.
So then if there is an active player, we're looking at it's Marlowe or Thornton.
Which one are you going with?
I'm gonna go with Marlowe.
Marlowe has appeared in the playoffs 20 times.
So that means Thornton's not on the list, by the way.
Thornton's not on the list.
He might be this year.
I think he's going to get there this year.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. So I'm glad I'm feeling good so far. Okay. So now players have been played 20 years in the National Hockey League, and made the playoffs for 20 years. Steve Yzerman.
Steve Yzerman in the group at 20.
Fedorov came after him, so I don't. Fedorov.
Fedorov's incorrect.
He went to Anaheim and then Columbus for a long time. For a while. I got one guess if you want. How many wrong answers are we allowed?
I don't know. We haven't had many, so go ahead. It's fine.
Mark Messier?
Mark Messier is incorrect.
Oh.
No. Wow.
No Mark Messier. Unfortunately,
he went to Vancouver.
He went to
But he
Vancouver.
was with the Rangers. He was with the Oilers.
Vancouver, I think, cost him 3 years, though.
Yeah. All right. Did Wayne? Wayne was 20.
Wayne is incorrect.
I didn't think Wayne was there because he played 20 years, but he must have missed a little bit.
Sean, what about the D's in New Jersey there?
No, they didn't. Like Stevens? No, I wouldn't put Stevens
Scott
there.
Stevens is at 20 appearances in the postseason.
Shit.
Huh.
So then does Danico make it too? No, I don't think
Danico's not there.
What about the other one? What about Niedermeyer?
Oh, no.
No, that's not my guess. I'm just out talking to Sean.
No, I'm not going to go Niedermeyer.
Okay.
He wants us to say Niedermeyer.
Pronger.
Pronger's incorrect.
Oh.
I'm trying to think of who played till 40. Who played till 40? That's the key. Hold on. Chara.
Chara is incorrect.
Oh my god.
Too many Islanders seasons. How many do we have? 4 or 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 6.
We have 6 out of how many?
Out of 9.
So 3 more, and we don't have the 21.
You don't have the 21, and you're missing 2 others. One of them I really be surprised if you got. Everyone forgets about them. The other 2 are fairly obvious.
Mike Gardner.
Fairly obvious.
Mike Gardner.
Really Mike Gardner's incorrect.
Okay.
Would you like a clue?
Sure,
Yes.
Give us a clue. 3 left.
All 3 remaining are defensemen.
They're all defensemen.
Man.
So play their 40s. Someone forgets about them.
Bork? No.
Yeah. No, but he had a lot of bad Boston years.
Boston teams suck. And no Niedermeyer. How come no Niedermeyer? He's with New Jersey. He's with Anaheim. They won a cup.
But Bork played late. Bork was old. I kind of want to say like Housley or Coffey too, because they played on. Right? No, Housley. Housley was a shit team. I'll go Coffey.
Coffey's incorrect.
Yeah. So Bork then.
Ray Bork is the guy at 21 appearances in the postseason.
I just thought that Boston team wasn't good for a while. So now we have 2 defensemen, 1 no one ever thinks about, and then 1 other guy. So we're down to 2. We've done quite well here, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm 99.9% sure that both remaining players are in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
We have like 90 seconds to get this on the Post Game Pints podcast.
I'll give you 2 clues here.
Okay.
One was a former Leaf, briefly, and the other, Campbell, I'm disappointed you haven't guessed yet.
Oh, okay. Oh no, wait, no.
Former Leaf.
Brian Leach, but I don't. That's not my guess. It can't be him because the Rangers were pretty.
Not Brian Leach.
No, he didn't play long enough.
Just my initial.
He played till 40 though. That's the thing. Like it may not be 40, it might be like 38 or 39. And one that he's disappointed that I didn't get. Did he play for the Thrashers? I got Chelios.
Oh, what about Larry?
Roman Hammerlick. Roman
Hammerlick's incorrect.
He played a long time. That's why I was thinking.
Dave?
I don't know. I would have guessed Niedermeyer or Larry Murphy. Those are my two only people.
Larry Murphy is the former Leaf.
The moment you said Larry Murphy, I was like, yes, that's the answer. Larry Murphy played till he was old. Way to go, Dave. You got Larry Murphy.
The former Leaf.
All right. Give me one more clue. We got like 30 seconds. Give me one more clue. Let's see if I can do it.
Well, the clue is I'm disappointed with you.
I know, but it didn't work, so that's fine.
Well, come on. Think harder. Why would I be disappointed?
Because he played for the Canucks?
No.
Thrashers?
No.
Hal Gill, because he ragdolled me.
Because he played for the Panthers? The Canadians?
He did play for the Canadians.
Oh, Larry.
That's not what...
Larry.
We have a second Larry. You guys missed both Larrys. You guys missed Larry Murphy and
Larry Robinson. Because he's my first favorite hocky plaare. That's why you disappointed me long enough that I pulled it out. And yes, I should have said.
Well, how's that for your entertainment value?
They've done their job very, very well.
Awesome!
No.